So I am here with another video on this feminine energy because many of you who follow me um, sort of texted me or messaged me, that we liked that earlier video on the masculine and feminine dynamics, and you should do more videos on that. And I discovered something yesterday and thought to share with you, which is all about feminine energy. So yesterday I had this astrological reading of mine, and I found that so as you all know, I'm fond of astrology and how it sort of interlinks with psychology and how do you identify different patterns using astrology, and you can predict human behavior, and how do you work with shadow sides using astrology as a self-awareness tool. So I had this interesting reading with a female, yeah, and I'll tell you there is a difference between feminine and female because that's a huge difference, and there's a huge confusion around it. So I had this reading, and I found out that in my 12th house there's Black Moon Lilith, yeah, and I'll tell you about what this 12th house means, and what this Black Moon Lilith is. So in astrology, 12th house is the house of the unknown. 12th house is the house of shadows and blind spots of people. And so there are uh, 12 houses, but rest of the 11 houses deals with worldly matters. But the 12th house is kind of a mysterious house, which deals with the occult, which deals with the spirituality, and which deals with, as I said, unknown. So this is non-worldly, non-physical things. That's what 12th house represents in a astrological reading, or or if you are if you want to have an astrological reading. So in this 12th house, you have this all that stuff that I've just said. And within there are many planets you would see if you. So I have my Jupiter in my 12th house, my Saturn in my 12th house, and so I'll not go into that detail, but I'll talk about Black Moon Lilith. Now, astronomically, Black Moon Lilith is the furthest point where the moon goes. In 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 her orbit or in his orbit. I don't know whether moon is he or she. I'll call it she because moon is all about emotions, feelings, and that's why you have these cycles. Your feeling cycles. You feelings, emotions changes all the time, and that's the feminine energy. So Lilith or Black Moon Lilith is the furthest point where moon goes. And but there's another interpretation or meaning of Black Moon Lilith or Lilith, which is about so in Jewish folklore or in Hebrew scripts, maybe in the Bible also, I'm not sure, but it's been said that the first wife of Adam, or in Urdu we call it Adam alayhi salam. So the first wife of Adam was Lilith. And what happened that when both were created by God, and Adam said that since I'm of highest nature, the Lilith should sort of lay beneath me, and she should bow down or so it's kind of the folklore that goes like this. But then Lilith sort of defied that entire sort of proposal and said that I will own my power, and I don't want to give myself sexually to you, and I won't subdue, that's kind of stuff. And she sort of that's the mythology, that she sort of became a partisan of Saturn, and then that's how the story goes on. But astrologically, the Black Moon Lilith also represents the repressed feminine of a person, whether it is female or male. Yeah. So I really want you to see where your Black Moon Lilith resides in your birth chart. So I'm just curious and sharing my own. So you have this 12th house, which I discovered. And interestingly, I didn't know that Black Moon Lilith is residing in my 12th house. I knew about my chart, but I draw that free chart which is available on Astro Cafe. कोई बात नहीं, ये फ़ोन आ रहा है, बदतमीज़ फ़ोन, बंद करो उसको. हाँ हाँ चलने दो, कोई बात नहीं. So, where I was? Yeah, Black Moon Lilith in the 12th house. So what I came to know that I've repressed a lot of emotions, and especially those emotions that are buried inside me. And this 12th house, which represents spirituality, psychic abilities, and I came to know that the whole theme of my birth chart is spirituality and teaching people what I go through or what I went through, the kind of trauma I went through. So this is what Black Moon Lilith is all about, and it's the repressed energy of a feminine inside you. And as I said, that feminine is not women. Women is biological or a gender oriented construct, but feminine is energetic in expression. Femininity or feminine energy is about consciousness. It's kind of a consciousness that prevails. Like, to give an example, feminine is a receiving energy. It's kind of give birth to something. So feminine energy is all pervasive. It's everywhere.
Energy of creation.
Sorry?
Energy of creation.
Yeah, it's the energy of creation. Fatma is making a video for me. So it's the energy of creation. It's very receptive in nature. It's not forward moving like masculine. Therefore, masculine is not synonymous with men. So I came to know that I have this repressed feminine inside me, and my sexual fantasies and my repressed anger, that all symbolizes feminine energy. So if you want to locate your Black Moon Lilith, so find these reactions within you. So for example, if somebody tells you that this man or woman is great person, you should go there and meet him, etc., etc., and when you go and meet that person doesn't resonate with you, and your first instinctual response is that no, I don't like him. So he or she may be a good person, but your instinctual response is no, I don't think that he's the kind of a person I want to meet. So Black Moon Lilith is very instinctual in nature. It's very pre-instinctual. It's pre-thinking thing. It's like your reptilian brain, in neuroscience term. So it's your yes and no when you express something viscerally. Yeah. So I like that person, and I don't know why I like that. This is kind of a expression of Lilith energy, that's the feminine. So you may want to also explore where I instinctually respond, and I find this something very fascinating, but others don't, because something is there for me, but I can't figure out, That's what Black Moon Lilith is all about. And I'm really excited to explore further that, what kind of, because that's interesting, when something was hidden. So Black Moon Lilith was hidden from me till yesterday. And I found that in that natal chart, she's residing there. And in my lifetime, there are more female friends of mine than male, And now I know that why I was interested in sexual abuse, in domestic violence when I was teaching in a public health university. And I came to know many beautiful women, with whom I shared my energy and they shared theirs. And I was the only male in the working group for women where I was teaching. So now everything makes sense to me. And it also, as I was channeling my guides, and I came to know that maybe I was a woman in past life, because Black Moon Lilith also brings things from the past lives. It's not your childhood, because I'm a believer of past life. That's my spirituality. And so you bring that element as well. And so, this reminds me of Inquisition, that the Great Purge, where the witch trials were happened, in the past, and many witches were sort of burnt alive, and those medicine women, you know. And I feel that I have the same tendency, because when I hear these things, which are not from my context, I feel bad about it. So I feel that emotional connection with those witches, for example, with those women who were burned alive uh, by Catholic communities, because they used to think that these women are, they're using black magic, or etc., etc. So, you know that's interesting. So you see what Lilith brings for you, and share with me in the comment if you want to.